Assalamu alaikum and good morning, my dear students. How are you all? Hope you all are doing well. So I welcome all of you to yet another class of biology. So you know that we were discussing about the chapter Why Do We Fall Ill? And in the previous class we learned about the infectious diseases and different means of spreading of those diseases. For example, through water, through air, through different vectors and also through sexual contact. Okay, so now the microorganisms that cause diseases have entered our body through different means. So you know that the size of the human body, if we compare with the microorganisms, is very large. They have many places to go inside our body. For example, there are different tissues and organs in our body. So where they will go after entering our body? Do all the microorganisms will target a specific tissue or organ, or they will select different organs? Yes, they will be targeting different organs. That is, there are different types of microorganisms or different species of microorganisms. So they will be targeting different organs or tissues in our body. Okay, and each microorganism will be having a specific or targeting a specific tissue or organ. Okay, so in today's class we are going to discuss about organ specific and tissue specific manifestations of these microorganisms. Okay, so let's move into our topics. The selection of specific tissue or specific organ by a microorganism is connected to their point of entry. That means through where they are entering our body. So, for example, if they enter from the air via the nose, where they will go? They will go to the lungs, right? And if they enter our body through the mouth, for example, in the case of typhoid, jaundice, etc., the disease is caused because of contaminated food or they are caused through the contaminated food and water. So we will be taking this food or water through our mouth, and where they will reach our gut. In the case of typhoid, they will reach the gut lining, is it? And in the case of jaundice, they will go to the liver. Okay. But this will not be same in all cases. For example, in the infection like HIV or AIDS, the microorganism that is the virus that cause HIV will enter our body through the sexual contact. Is it? Through the sex organs, it will spread to all over the body through lymph. You know that lymph is present or lymph nodes are present all over our body like the blood vessels in our body. So what will happen? It will spread all over the body. The HIV causing virus will spread all over the body. Likewise, malaria causing microbes that will enter through a mosquito bite, and they will go to the liver first, and then they will go to the red blood cells, that is blood cells. Okay. That's how it will spread all over the body. And next example is the virus that causes Japanese encephalitis, that is brain fever. They also enter our body through the mosquito bite and they will infect the brain. Then what about the symptoms of these diseases? We can say that the signs and symptoms of a disease will depend on the tissue or organ which the microbe target. Is it? For example, if the lungs are the target of the microbes, then the symptoms will be related to the lungs. That is, it will be affecting our breathing, or it will cause cough, breathlessness, etc. And if the liver is targeted, there will be jaundice. And if the brain is targeted, we will experience symptoms like headaches, vomiting, unconsciousness, etc. Okay, so we can say that the symptoms and signs of an infection will be based on the tissue or organ the microbes target, and based on the functions of these tissues and organs. Is it? We know that the function of the lungs is helping in us in the breathing. So we can understand the signs and symptoms of an infection if we know the target tissue or organ, is it? And the functions that are carried out by this tissue or organ. So students, now the microbes, the disease causing microbes have entered the specific tissue or organ in our body. Now what will happen? The body's immune system will get activated in response to this infection, is it? And an active immune system will recruit or will send many cells to the affected tissue or organ to kill the disease causing microbes. Okay, and this recruitment process in our body is called inflammation. Okay, as a part of this process, there are local effects such as swelling and pain, and general effects such as fever. So, due to this recruitment process, some of the disease have fever. Okay. So, next topic is principles of treatment. So, students, what are the steps taken by your family when you fall sick? Or have you ever thought why you sometimes feel better if you sleep for some time? And when does the treatment involve medicines? So we can treat the infectious diseases in two ways. One, by reducing the effects of the disease, that is the symptoms, and by killing the disease causing microorganisms, that is the disease causing microbes. So in the first case, we know that the symptoms are usually because of the inflammation in our body. Is it? For example, we can take medicines that bring down the fever, reduce the pain or loose motions, etc. And also we can take bed rest so that we can conserve our energy, and this will enable us to have more of it available to focus on healing. But what will happen? This kind of symptom directed treatment will not make the infectious microbe go away, and disease will not be cured. So for that we need to kill the microbes, right? So how we can kill the microbes? So we know that the different microbes include virus, bacteria, fungi or protozoa. And we have studied that each of these group of organisms will have some essential biochemical life process which is peculiar to that group and not shared with the other groups. And these processes may be pathways for synthesis of new substance or respiration. For example, in humans, our cells may make new substances by the mechanism which will be different from that used by the bacteria. Okay. So we have to find a drug that blocks the bacterial synthesis pathways without affecting our own cells. And this can be achieved by the antibiotics. Right? We have studied about that already, right? And similarly, there are drugs that kill protozoa such as the malarial parasite. Okay. And there is antiviral drugs which are against the disease causing viruses. So this is about the treatment of infectious diseases. So dear students, today we have learned about the organ-specific and tissue-specific manifestation of microorganisms. That is, how the microorganisms act on a specific tissue or specific organ in our body, and after that what happens to our body. Is it? And after that we learned about the inflammation process. That is, the activation of our immune system will cause inflammation, that is inflammation in our body due to the recruitment of cells to that infected site in our body. Okay, and after that we discussed about the principle of treatment. In that we learned about how we can treat an infectious disease. By two methods we can treat infectious disease. First one was by reducing the effects of the disease, that is by reducing the symptoms by treating the symptoms of that specific disease, and also next one was by killing the microorganisms that cause that specific infection in our body. That is through the incorporation of antibiotics, antiviral drugs, and such as then also using antiprotozoal drugs, etc. Okay, so this is about today's topic. Hope you all understood today's topics. We will meet in the next class. Until, thank you all of you.